Hello everyone, my name is Kador. Welcome to yet another music collection video. So this one's going to be all the stuff I got at Skeleton Dust Records the last time I was there in Dayton, Ohio. And that was a couple months ago, and it took me up until now to kind of get through everything so that I can talk to you all about it and show everything off. So yeah, let's just get started. It's mostly going to be noise, of course. This is a noise-focused record store. But yeah, starting off with the only actual vinyl record I got, which was this 7-inch by Sissy Spacek, who, if you don't know, is a band that John Weiss is in, who makes a lot of cool stuff on his own. I don't know if Weiss or Weiss, but anyway. This is like his noisecore band, although they do a lot of different things other than just noisecore. Sometimes they kind of fuse harsh noise and noisecore together. But this one is just pretty much straight up classic noisecore with little pauses in between every very short track where they hit the drumsticks together and then blast into it again. So anyway, it kind of folds out like that, and then there's just this, just a regular 7-inch. So anyway, yeah, it's pretty good stuff. And if you like noisecore, it's very straightforward. Does nothing different or special with the style, but it's pretty good. All right, next I'll get into all of the tapes I got. Starting with, I think, the only normal jewel case one I got, because I like weird packaging, and that is Virgin Death by Plagues. My camera quality is not great, and neither is the lighting right now, so I hope you can even see that. But anyway, Plagues, I've gotten several tapes from him in the past. Just a really good death industrial, power electronics kind of artist. Very consistent, so I usually just blind buy his stuff because I know it's going to be good. And I was, my expectations were met, because this is very good. It's the same release on both sides. It's just like 20 something minutes, I think. And yeah, thanks to various people in the J card. Don't know if you can read that, but there you go. It's kind of like atmospheric, but also like harsh, and got that crunchy, crumbly noise from time to time as well. Some cool sampling, and yeah, just a very, very solid release in that style if you enjoy that kind of thing. Next is this short release by Kazuma Kubota, who is definitely one of my favorite noise artists in general at this point. And this actually got reissued on, I think, like a 12-inch vinyl at one point. But this is like the original cassette run. I'm not sure what exactly it was limited to, but yeah, probably not very much, because it's got these hand-painted boxes, which is really cool. So you open it up, and yeah, it's just 3 tracks. It's like, I think it's only like 15 or 20 minutes total. It's got this, oh yeah, here it is. It's limited to only 50 copies, looks like. I think that's a 50. I don't know, 24 out of 50. Anyway, yeah, so I feel very lucky to have gotten this, because this thing is amazing. Kazuma Kubota in general, basically his style is like fusing really beautiful ambient, just ambient music, with just blasts of cut up harsh noise and really relentless, intense. So it's got like both polar extremes of like really pretty ambient and really harsh noise, that just kind of, butt heads, I guess. And he does it in a really, really good way, and a really unique way, merging these two styles together. And I think this is probably the best example of his work. I think it's called Urutsui or something. I don't know how to speak Japanese, so I don't know. But yeah, very good stuff. Pretty much everything that I've heard from this guy is worth checking out. Next, we have another hand-painted box, which is very cool. And yeah, some of these I bought just purely for the packaging. This is one of those. It does actually have a normal thing inside here, but like jewel case, but it has all these fake leaves, and so I'll take this other thing out. So this is just like the track list, and on the back just some liner notes and such. Yeah, so this tape is by Death Dedication, and it's called Shot Down by Nature. It's like 2 13-minute tracks or so, one on each side, and it's kind of like, it's not quite harsh noise wall, but it's very like monotonous, textural harsh noise. And it's pretty good for what it is, but definitely nothing too special, aside from the packaging, which is really cool. But yeah, there it is, and J card opens up into this artwork. Pretty cool stuff. Next up, we got this one by Torturing Nurse, who is pretty much the only like harsh noise artist I'm aware of from China. There has to be more, right? But he's like definitely the most well recognized one. So it comes in this cool bag, and that's like the label on the back. You have to kind of pinch these to open it. This tape is, I mean, it's harsh noise. It's pretty solid for what it is. Maybe not the best stuff I've heard from him, and nothing really stand out for the genre in general. But yeah, I mean, it's solid stuff. If you like harsh noise, you'll like this. So it has this poster which comes out, which I actually kind of want to hang up on my wall at some point. Really cool, like collage art here. And then, yeah, it just has the tape in the bag, and it says TN for torturing nurse. So, yeah, solid stuff, cool packaging, noise. All right, and the last two tapes here are both on a label called Presser Tape, I believe, and they look like this. So let's see. I guess I'll start with this one. This is by Will MK, who I actually, the first time Ether played like as a duo live, we played a show with Will MK at Rhizome in DC. He was super nice and cool. I met him previously actually at in Rhode Island at a noise show there once. But anyway, cool guy. He has a very unique style. Let me go ahead and show you the packaging first though, because it's very cool. So obviously it's in this bag with all these like cryptic, I don't know, biohazard symbols or whatever. And then you take the tape out, and it has this weird, I think these are like robotics parts or something that are just kind of screwed in to each side of the tape here. So you actually have to unscrew this to put the tape in the tape player, which I did to play it, and then I screwed them back to show it in this video. But anyway, this is a super short tape. It's like 3 or 4 minutes on each side. But it's basically like, I guess, glitch noise, just very constantly shifting weird electronic textures that I think are really cool to listen to. So yeah, Will MK, definitely would recommend checking out this guy's stuff. And then the next one, I don't actually remember what the artists are. I just obviously got it for the packaging. So let's just unpackage this whole thing, which is a whole ordeal. There's a rubber band around this thing. Then there's this back part, which I had to like break this seal to open it. Okay, so this is called Malfunction Report 1 by Tim Martins and Jonathan Bergen. And yeah, it has this little write-up about, I don't know, some electronic disturbance in the transmission. I don't know, whatever. Yeah, this is also kind of glitchy noise. I guess some like kind of radio frequency sort of sounds mixed in, if that makes sense. So to take it out of this thing, then you need to undo all these nuts holding the screws into place. So I'll just go ahead and do that. Yeah, it's like I don't know. It feels like, I don't know if it's all digital, but there's definitely some digital sounds, just glitches and weird computery malfunction kind of sounds, which is, I guess, is what a glitch is. But yeah, anyway, that kind of thing mixed in with more straightforward harsh noise, and it's a really good combo. I enjoyed this tape overall. I think I like the Will MK one a little bit better, but they're not like super similar styles. They're just both fusions of glitch and noise. Anyway, I just got this apart, so you gotta just kind of pry it open. Still kind of difficult. Yeah, honestly, I don't even know how to like get it completely detached, but what you can do is you can just like slide the tape through there once it's loosened up a little bit, and then you have like the tape and the enclosure. So yeah, and then it's just, a regular kind of jewel case or whatever you call these. Yeah, you get the idea. Very cool label, awesome packaging. Alright, then moving into the CDs that I got. We have this one by Kazumoto Endo, obvious Japanese noise legend. This is the album he put out, I believe, in 2019. And it's called Kaio. It's pretty different from, like, if you heard While You Were Out, his most famous album. It's kind of different from that. It's still like technical sort of cut up noise, but it has a lot of sort of silent gaps in between, and I don't know, a lot of like very just harsh kind of mechanical sounds. I don't know, hard to describe, I guess. But anyway, really nice, kind of peaceful cover art and packaging. Just kind of contrasts the noise, I would say. It doesn't have much of a kind of pop sampling sort of fun quality as While You Were Out does. It seems more like serious. But anyway, it's pretty good. You know, it's definitely not the best stuff I've heard from him. Although I've never been like a humongous Kazumoto Endo fan. But I've always respected his stuff, and this is like solid, but not really something I'm keen to return to anytime soon. Next is a CD by Purgist, who I've been a fan of for a while. Another artist who just combines noise and ambient music very well, but really like fuses them together and has elements of like cut up harsh noise, but it's not ever like super harsh. It's always still mixed in with the atmosphere. Just really good sound design and production overall, like very clean, and like he just knows what he's doing as far as making cool sounds, I guess. So anyway, there's that. So I think, yeah, on here there's like a little write-up by Michael 9, MK9, who's featured on the last track, and that's kind of just what he's like reading out during that track. And I've got a very big thing from Michael 9 that I'll be showing at the end of this video, so stick around for that. But anyway, yeah, this album is very good. All of Purchase' stuff is like pretty much worth listening to, all the more recent stuff at least. And yeah, this is just another solid example of that. So if you're into noise that's more on the ambient side of things rather than the really harsh pummeling side of things, definitely check this out. Next, we got Divine Legions Beyond Psyche by Stromek. This is an album that I've been meaning to listen to for a while, and then I saw it in the store, and I was like, ooh, perfect opportunity. It's really cool. It opens up, like the packaging opens up into this big fold-out thing with all the lyrics and the CD at the end. Really good lyrics on this thing. You see the front there, or the track list, I mean. Yeah, so this is power electronics. It's more on the, I don't want to say like clean, but like, you know, it's cleanly recorded. It's really just, the sound design is really good. Each track kind of distinguishes itself with a slightly different sound. So it's not just kind of that like washy gray slush that a lot of power electronics sort of falls into, if that makes sense. It's like very sharp and piercing and intense and atmospheric at the same time. Yeah, it's really good stuff. All right, and these last two CDs were actually given to me by Luke of Skeleton Dust for free because I ordered like $200 worth of stuff, so he threw in a few freebies, which is very nice. The first one is by his like noise duo, Heat Signature, and this is amazing. This album is called Brain on War, and to me this is just like perfect harsh noise. And I'm not just saying that because Luke is a cool guy and I always shop at his store. Like, he's legitimately like a noise master, and yeah, if like it doesn't do anything particularly like new or innovative or anything. It's just kind of like war themed harsh noise. Here it says American Harsh Noise Assaults on here, which is what you get. It's like that classic American noise sound. Like if you like Macronympha, you're gonna like this. You know, it's that kind of style, but it's just done so well. It's such a satisfying, crunchy, rumbly texture. I love it so much. It's not like noise wall, but it is like that kind of uncompromisingly harsh, like constant blaring sort of style. Yeah, super good stuff. Here's the inside. Oh, there's also the booklet. It has these like instructions for warfare, essentially. Like if you're a soldier, like what you should be doing to, you know, optimize your chances of survival, and your chances of, you know, killing the enemy and stuff like that. It's obviously like a real thing, you know, that they took it from, probably from like World War II or something. And then at the end here it says play loud while eradicating the enemy. But yeah, and then it has this on the back. Yeah, it's a really cool little addition that really shows like the reality of warfare and just the, you know, the nature of it, the very harsh nature of warfare, matching the harshness of the noise. So anyway, yeah, great stuff. And then the next CD that I got for free is this one by what's his name, Fumio Kosakai, who is a member of Incapacitants and also Hideo Kaiden, I think, for a while. And this is called The Warm Garden. This is a CD reissue of a tape that was put out in the 90s, 93. And you can see him playing violin here, because I think most of these, well, it's like just two tracks, just two lengthy, like 30-minute kind of droney tracks. I guess it's noise. It's like drone noise basically, and I guess it's sourced from his violin, and he just like affected it and such. But yeah, there's a whole write up about it here. But it's pretty good. I don't know. I'm not super into it. It's like it's not really like pretty like harmonic drone, and it's also not like really creepy atmospheric sort of noisy stuff either. It's like sort of this in between that's just kind of like it's just drone, you know. It's just kind of happening. And yeah, I'm a little neutral towards it, I guess, but it's not bad. All right, next is a DVD, The Haters Live. I knew about the Haters, and I listened to a little bit of their stuff before I got this. And I'd maybe seen one or two videos of like their live shows, and it seemed pretty interesting, but I never really like dove too deep into it. So I was excited to get this. This is just a bunch of shows from the '90s. These are all the dates there that they played, and yeah, it's just live footage of them. I would say about half of them are like kind of boring and sort of a chore to sit through, but then the other half are like really crazy and inspiring and just awesome. Like some of the best noise performances I've ever seen. And those would be the ones where like they take a whole car into the venue and just start like beating it with baseball bats and ripping it apart, and just like and there's other ones where they have like a bunch of furniture that they're ripping apart, or like newspapers that they're tearing. So it's just these big celebrations of destruction basically. That's their best ones are like that. And they invite the audience to participate and everything too, which is really cool. So yeah, I would say this is a must-watch, or at least some of these clips are must-watches for any noise fan wanting to know kind of the history of American noise or noise in general. The Haters are very important for that reason. I've never thought that their audio, like their actual noise itself, was that special, but it really comes to life when you see the visual performative aspect and, you know, what's going on to create the sounds, I guess. So yeah, very cool stuff. All right, and then the last things I'm going to show off in this video are just some printed matter. So the first ones are just a couple like noise zines. This is Music We Hate, and yeah, I mean, it's basically just like interviews with a few people and like reviews of some tapes, and I don't know, just weird little writings that generally have to do with noise and experimental music. Kind of strange esoteric stuff at times. Yeah, it's cool. I always enjoy reading zines like that. The other one I got is issue 10 of the New Forces zine. I have issue 9, so I figured I'd get this because it's just New Forces, if you don't know, is a really good noise label running today that just releases really quality harsh noise. And yeah, they have a zine too. And so you can see these are all the people that they like interviewed and stuff, and just like reviews at the end. There's this whole thing about this band Robe Door that I had never heard before, but it's like a whole discography kind of overview. Yeah, so just some reviews and stuff at the end. Yeah, very solid noise zine. I always like picking up at least a couple of those every time I go to Skeleton Dust. And then the last thing I'm going to show is this massive book by Michael Nine of Death Squad. And if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I'm really interested in Death Squad. I made a whole video essay on his Intent performance where he aimed a loaded gun at the audience after cutting himself shooting up heroin. Yeah, he's a crazy guy. And that was one of the shows on this tour that's like talked about in here. So I just wanted to learn more about it and just about the project in general, and just the guy in general. It's really, really interesting. So it comes with this little envelope with like a bookmark that's, you know, signed by him. And yeah, it's something about like an audio book, some download stuff. I'm not going to show all that. But there are then 3 CDs and 1 DVD. So the CDs are kind of like, I think some of them are like live recordings from that time period, as well as like recordings or like tracks from samplers that they were like, you know, that they made for the tours and stuff like that. So it's just a little snapshot of what Death Squad and the artists that he toured with sounded like during that time. And then the DVD is some like just footage, either live footage or like footage that he assembled or put together in certain ways. There's some really intense stuff on there. Some of it is kind of just like very tedious and sort of boring, or not boring, but like, you know, just hard to get through. And then some of it is like him cutting patterns into his arms and like painting with the blood. It's really intense to watch, and not for everyone, obviously. Really dark themes and such, and that's the case throughout this book and throughout this project in general. So yeah, basically there's just a lot of, it shows like all of the posters that they put out during this time for different shows, and just different people writing about the experience that were a part of it, you know, throughout most of the book. And then there's like there's these photos in the middle that he took. And then yeah, just more. And he made these like flyers that were unique to each show that he played, I believe. That were basically just these long kind of stream of consciousness like writings that he did that were sort of abstract, but just consistently very dark. And yeah, I mean, it just showed how much of a tortured person he was. I mean, I hope he's doing better now, but like this clearly came from someone who was just not doing well at all. And if you read throughout the book and realize he was like, you know, just a total drug addict, just totally out of control with all that. And yeah, just a lot of mental health issues. And it's just like, I mean, he literally splattered his own blood, like cut himself live and like painted, like put blood all over the flyers and then handed them out to the audience. Like really intense, extreme stuff. More posters and whatnot. Anyway, you get the idea. Very comprehensive. He actually has another book like this from, I think from like the previous year, like a tour he did, 1997 or something. I might want to get that at some point too, just because this is very interesting to look through. But yeah, anyway, Death Squad. I've honestly never actually been a huge fan of like just the audio, like the actual recordings that he made, but just the live performances and the writings and just the themes, the ideas behind the project, and just the person making the noise has always just really fascinated me. And yeah, I really think he's one of the most interesting and important figures in noise history and just in the history of like extreme music and art in general. So anyway, that was everything I wanted to show off in this video. Thank you for watching, and yeah, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, because I have been uploading somewhat more regularly. I don't know if that's going to be consistent. We'll see. Anyway, see ya.